Welcome to CompleatKiDZ Online, friendly discussions about autism and other developmental disabilities. Learn how working together is working better, one conversation at a time.
Hello, welcome to CompleatKiDZ Online. I'm Gina.
And I'm Bob.
And we are joined here today by Mason. Mason is a music therapist. So nice to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. How about we start off with what is music therapy?
Great. So essentially, music therapy is the clinical and evidence-based use of music therapy interventions to achieve individualized goals through a therapeutic relationship. I've been board certified for about 7 years now. I went to Queen's University of Charlotte, which is one of 3 music therapy programs in the state. So you have to have a bachelor's or higher, 1,200 hours or more of clinical experience, including an internship, and then you're eligible to take the board certification exam, which is renewed every 5 years with continuing education credits. So we're trained to work with essentially all different populations.
Is the bachelor's going to be any bachelor's, or is there specific bachelor's that you have to hold?
So it has to be a bachelor's or higher in music therapy from an accredited university.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Do you need to be able to play an instrument?
You do. So to graduate, you have to be proficient in voice, piano, and guitar. Some people have additional primary instruments.
So my recorder skills not going to work too good.
It'll get you somewhere.
Bongo, maybe.
It might get your foot in the door.
Triangle.
There you go.
Triangle. With tambourine.
Yeah, a little Proud Mary. R.I.P. Tina Turner.
Too soon. So what populations can music therapy benefit?
Essentially all populations. We have music therapists in NICUs and in hospice, and everything in between.
What's NICUs?
Neonatal intensive care units.
Gotcha.
And then a lot of school-age children. Charlotte Music Therapy is my private practice, and we have a clinic that's centrally located in Charlotte, North Carolina area, and we go in-home as well and to several facilities. We treat mostly children, some adults with autism spectrum disorder, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, any kind of physical developmental differences. And music is really the motivator to address individualized needs. So every client that comes, every individual, they have specific goals and objectives that we're working towards every session. And music is kind of the catalyst that gets us there.
Does insurance pick up some of that?
It's a great question. Some insurances will cover music therapy services. There's a constant battle at the legislative level.
Yeah.
Some states do have licensure. North Carolina's working on it, so that'll be a great way to expand services when those bills are hopefully passed.
Yeah.
But some insurance companies will cover it already currently.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What are some examples of some of those goals that you kind of target in your sessions?
Yeah. We work on a lot of sustained attention or joint attention, selective attention, a lot of cognitive goals, speech goals, physical goals, fine motor skills, which are great to use, grasping different mallets and playing different instruments, and improving appropriate social interaction. So really in one 30 to 60 minute session, we are addressing a global set of needs. So those are cognitive, physical, behavioral, emotional.
So I'm assuming when you start working with a kid, we're talking about kids specifically because we deal with kids.
Of course.
He doesn't have to have any kind of music inclination, have zero experience with an instrument and stuff like that.
No, you don't have to be quote unquote musical
Yeah.
to benefit from music therapy services. We do a lot of interactive music making. So there are drums, there's a drum set, there's piano, there's xylophone, and there's so many nonverbal cues that we can pick up on when we're interacting musically. I think anyone can just bang on a drum.
Right.
We all have a heartbeat. That's my philosophy. So our bodies function on rhythm, and it's a space where kids can come and explore, be creative, work on healthy emotional outlet. We can work on impulse control as well. We do play musical games. We do songwriting. We do speech cueing with different picture cues. And that
All
kind
of which
thing.
are amazing, with our kids.
It sounds so fun.
Yeah. Well, our lead BCBA was like, "Oh, I want to do that." Just before you came in. So, do you occasionally get kids, people that do have some musical talent? I don't mean like you discovered. I mean, I've already been playing the guitar for 5 years or whatever.
Yeah, we have several current clients who are on the autism spectrum who, sorry,
That's okay.
who have gravitated towards the piano and just shown tremendous musical skills. Perfect pitch, matching pitch perfectly.
Right.
Identifying different notes and learning music, which is great for focus. It's great for outlet.
Yeah, we had the same woman, the lead, our BCBA. She was on another podcast that she was a guest, and that person that was with her was nonverbal autism spectrum disorder and won a Grammy. So
Nonverbal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on piano.
I don't know what his thing was.
I think he was a rapper.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, he as a kid he was nonverbal. He had made so much progress that he had cut this record. I think it was definitely contemporary music.
amazing.
And I think he rapped and won a Grammy.
Well, and with all the different producing apps and programs that are available now, I've seen kids who have really learned Logic or Ableton or some of these music programs just kind of inside and out, and been able to turn out incredible music digitally, electronically.
Mm-hmm.
Gene is an expert at Guitar Hero.
Oh, nice. Well, I brought a real guitar.
Can we break that bad boy out? Or?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Can you take us through some of the maybe some of the drills and stuff that you would work with, just as a little example for the audience to see what
absolutely.
kind of stuff you're working with?
I have an original song. It's called The Opposite Song.
Oh, cute. Yeah, all of our services here definitely rely on music a lot of the time.
You hear it all the time, in the clinics. Different, we have basically like a music machine or what the bad wedding performer would have, that kind of thing.
So fun.
The Casio.
That's awesome. There you go. There's so many different elements within music that we're kind of tapping into. So there's the temporal aspect, the rhythm, which is great for gait training. There's melodic contour and harmonies, and lyrics that we can gain perspective from and learn from. So the Opposite Song sounds pretty in tune.
But do we have an app for that?
We do, but I also have some lyrics.
Oh, okay.
So I can remember which order they go in. All right, let's see if we can hear it here. Opposites, opposites, not the same. Opposites, they are different. Opposites, opposites, not the same. Opposites, they are different. Big and small, short and tall, narrow and wide, heavy and light, left and right, day and night, in and out, whisper and shout. Opposite, opposites, not the same. Opposites, they are different. Opposites, opposites, not the same. Opposites, they are different. So in a session,
I feel like we should.
I know, that was amazing.
I don't know if that's going to win any Grammys. but
I
thank you.
did not expect that kind of vocals coming from. I don't know why. It was like, whoa, this guy can sing.
But you do something every day, and hopefully
Yeah, you get good at
better
it.
So cool.
So in a session, I would say the first word, and then the child or
Would say the opposite.
client would say the opposite. Yeah. So
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a fun one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We have games and songs for rhyming and different educational skills. And
So is it
counting.
mostly that kind of stuff where the instructor is playing the instrument and the kid is, singing the vocals or whatever, or
It's all kinds of different forms. There's a lot
you
of
said
that
sometimes the kids are banging their
interactive
mouths
music
and stuff
making.
like that.
Yep. Improvisation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have a good time.
And I'm assuming you write a program, Mason, like, you come in, you, I don't diagnose, I guess, for lack of a better word, a kid, and you say, okay, this is the type of thing I'm asking that we need to do for this kid.
Yeah, so we're not making the diagnoses, but we're receiving input from parents, from caregivers, teachers, PT, OT, SLP, etc. So typically we know the diagnosis when the child comes in, and then we're doing an assessment, observing all the needs that person has. Then we're coming up with goals and objectives that we'll work towards with a specific time frame. And we're working towards those goals and objectives every session, and then we document outcomes after every session. So, and I make sure that parents have access to the notes so you can see progress. There's charts that we'll write up once we meet that time frame, so you can track progress for every individual client.
So
Sounds familiar.
Exactly. So I guess what I'm getting at is, that is tailored to each kid.
Correct.
It's not the same across the board, which
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, and so sometimes, like a lot of times, we'll come up with specific session plans beforehand. There's some kids who create their own session agenda, and work on some behavior flexibility. Another big goal, taking turns, and so I want to make it as inclusive as possible and offer as much empowerment as possible as well.
So I probably already know the answer, but I'm assuming that you, people like us, not me and Gina, but the clinic, have said to you, oh, wow, I've seen progress in A, B, and C.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the idea of it, is the carryover. Whether we're doing, and there's specific things that parents can do as well to address those needs, like even something as simple as playing freeze dance or something, where you're playing a song at home, and every time you stop, the child has to stop dancing. It's all kinds of fun.
Do we get a little bit of homework, fun stuff like that?
Occasionally.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great for those joint attention skills, that we're on the same page, we're playing the same game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're addressing a lot of similar goals in a different way that the entire treatment team is addressing.
How big is your team?
We're growing. I have 2 contractors currently, so they're able to provide in-home services as well as services in the clinic. So there are 3 of us now.
Very cool.
Yeah, we started. We've been around for about 3 years now.
Nice. And where physically is the clinic?
It's right on Providence Road. It's about 2 minutes down the road from
here?
CompleatKiDZ.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. This location here.
And what is something that a parent might see in their own child that may make them think, like, hey, this might be something that's good for my kid?
Yeah. I mentioned any kids that might have any kind of physical or developmental differences or needs, attention deficit, ADHD. It could be behavioral needs, emotional needs. There's all kinds of different applications of music therapy interventions to address essentially all a global set of needs.
What about the NICU kids?
Yeah, I gotta know, how do you work with them?
You have to be specially certified. So at Atrium Health, Levine Children's Hospital, they have several music therapists there. I work at Atrium Health Mercy, so that's a lot of geriatric patients, anyone over 18 who gets admitted. But I also see kids occasionally in the emergency department. But yeah, you have to have special training in the NICU, and you have to look for signs of any kind of overstimulation, right? So we don't want to.
Meaning you don't want to overstimulate.
Negatively impact. Yeah. We're always, as a music therapist, I think you're always aware of how sound is affecting other people. But the idea is to provide appropriate stimulation for kids who need extra brain development. And yeah, I mean, I have a 5-month-old currently, and even she's like already grasping for strings on the ukulele or guitar. So it's really cool just to see that interaction and look for any kind of positive responses in babies.
Very cool.
You know, obviously, most of our kids are on the autism spectrum. It seems like you've had, I'm reading between the lines, you've had pretty good success with that, with those kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's so cool to see. I mean, music, I think we all have different relationships with music. We all kind of have a soundtrack to our lives. But it's so versatile, and it's so inviting, and it's so human. And so I've seen really, really incredible engagement in music therapy. Kids who might not engage in other areas of their life really kind of come out of their shell.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I even think of like people just in general that are super, super shy, and you stick a microphone in front of them. It's just like, whoa.
Or us fighting over the Alexa. What
Exactly.
to listen to.
We do have a karaoke machine too.
Nice.
Yeah, you don't want Gina doing that. I've seen that. It's
If
not
it
a
feels
pretty
good,
sight.
let it out. That's my philosophy too.
That's funny. So we'll get to the part that we in marketing call the call to action, or the CTA as we call it. So if anybody out there is like, hey, I want to check this out, how do we get in touch with you, and how do we seek you out, kind of thing?
Yeah, the website is charlottemusictherapy.org. I'm sorry, charlottemusictherapy.com.
Okay.
You can email Mason, MASON, at charlottemusictherapy.com.
Or they could stop by. You got the address that they
You could stop by it. It's 725 Providence Road, and we're Suite 332.
So you just pop on in and maybe
Yeah, so feel free to
chat.
All my information is on the website.
Perfect.
So happy to set up an assessment or just kind of a demonstration and provide any additional information.
Very cool.
Anything else you got? I mean, we learned that. This is an interesting one.
Very
It's just
interesting.
very cool.
Bob learned his opposites today.
I learned, I learned that the opposite of whisper is shout. So that's good. I got
You didn't know that?
I picked that up.
just know
I'm only loud. There's no whispering going on. So we always end. I'm going to ambush you because sometimes we prep people with it before, but I did not. So our theme at CompleatKiDZ is we have these little icon superheroes that represent each one of the disciplines. We have one for OT, PT, SLP, and ABA. So we always ask our guests at the completion of the show, if you had any superpower, and I'm really interested to see which way you go on this one as a music therapist. If you had any superpower, what would it be?
I'd like to be able to play any instrument like a virtuoso.
Just pick it up and go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of. I always think of like the Matrix. Remember, they programmed him in, and all of a sudden he knew karate. And
Boom. Plug it in. Yep. That harp. I'd love to.
Yeah.
I was
the
just
harp.
thinking the same. Yeah, the harp.
Violin.
Why the harp?
It just
Cello.
looks so crazy.
Uh,
There's so many strings. Like,
Yeah.
well, that's a good one.
That'd be helpful.
I had a feeling we were going to get a good one from you, so that's a good one.
It's been a joy. Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you
for having
coming.
me.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Thanks
didn't
for
want
the
to
opportunity.
end it before you wanted to end it.
no. But we will put all your information in the show notes if anyone wants to check.
Yeah,
you know,
we'll
Charlotte's
put
Music
a link
Therapy out.
in the show notes. Right?
Yeah.
Anybody wants to get in touch, reach out to us. We'll put you in touch with Mason. Or reach out to Mason directly. Much better. But yeah, we appreciate your time, and we really learned a lot. It was really, really cool.
Very cool.
I hope to be able to co-treat and provide music therapy services.
Yeah. No, well, now that we know
whoever
that
can-
you're around, we'd love to. We'll put you in touch with the people. Me and Gina don't do that. We're just the marketing idiots. But we'll put you in touch with the people that would handle that.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To continue the conversation, visit the links to our website, Facebook page, or Instagram in the comments.